Hi. I wanted to do another video. Um, I seem to be doing an awful lot about Seattle, so I guess my channel will predominantly be about Seattle. Um, there was an article that I came across which was published on March 22nd, 2019. It's entitled Seattle Homelessness Crisis, Historic Cemetery Overrun with Drugs, Prostitution Amid Worsening Problems. That's the headline. Um, my question to the people of Seattle and the city council: why are you guys okay with all of this happening? If you weren't okay with it happening, you would take it upon yourselves to put a stop to it. It says here, Seattle's homeless crisis has reached such catastrophic levels that a North Side cemetery has become home to drug abuse, drug dealing, and prostitution. Yeah, it seems like the homeless are becoming the bully. And the drug addicts and the alcoholics and the prostitutes are making the ones that are just down on their luck look bad. Bikur, Bikur, Cholim Cemetery board member and city council candidate Ari Hoffman details the desperate effort to fight the epidemic and placed blame for how bad it had gotten squarely on the local government, which is true. The city of Seattle, look, this is the way I look at things, and a lot of people say that I'm living in a fantasy world, but instead of complaining about how bad stuff is, like, I walk into the laundry room and there's lint all over the place, there's dryer sheets on the floor, there's dust in the lint traps. Instead of complaining about how bad it is, it takes all of about maybe 5 to 10 minutes to clean everything up, and then it's done. And I don't have to worry about it. If I go through and do it ever so often, it gets done, it stays done. Seattle, you need to do that with the homeless. The transplants aren't going to give a shit. Now, I'm going to speak in plain English here. The transplants that move from other places to Seattle for a quick dollar, they feel like this is not their problem. Sort of like when a new president comes into the White House dealing with the ex-president's problems. He feels like it's not his responsibility to fix it because he didn't start it. And a lot of the transplants that are moving from other cities to Seattle and other states to Seattle feel like it's not your problem because y'all don't have any skin in the game. Y'all are just there for a quick dollar. Now, there is those transplants that have moved to Seattle because they fell in love with Seattle. They went on a visit, they fell in love, and they moved there. And they want Seattle to be their home. Most of the people that move to Seattle, they don't want it to be their home. They want it to be their paycheck. And there's a big difference between the letter H and the letter P. There's a whole lot of letters in between. It says here, the city council, city elected officials failed our city. That's true. Y'all knew about this problem. The city council as a whole knew about this problem since the late 90s. It was starting to get out of hand. Y'all could have done something to fix it. Now it may be too late. The city council elected officials failed the city. They created a haven where it is okay for people to die on the streets through drug use and to live on the streets, people who have mental illnesses. And to live on the street, people who have mental illnesses. Hoffman told Fox and Friends. They are not offering treatment solutions. They are failing us. The city council is failing you. Yes, you elected the city council to do what? Just sit there and look pretty? Through 2013, the homeless population was relatively stable. how can a homeless population be stable? It's like, yeah, we have this much homeless, and we're happy to have this much homeless, and let's try to keep it that way. And then what happened after that is it grew. Because the policies they had enabled drug use behavior. It's just absolutely tragic that we have people who are living inside a cemetery that are dealing drugs outside of a cemetery and running prostitution in a cemetery. But you see it on the streets all over Seattle. Yeah, you do. Hoffman, who is running for city council, then took aim at non-performing nonprofits for not doing enough to combat the crisis, and revealed what he believes is the first step to turn back the tide. Now, I'm going to talk to Hoffman, and I'm going to see if we're on the same page here. I'm going to get a hold of him, and I'm going to explain my idea for fixing the homeless problem. It's very simple. You swoop them up and you move them out. Swoop them up and move them out. You be humane about it. You don't beat anybody up, but you make them know that they can't stay there anymore. They've got to go. You got to evict the homeless. Just as the rich are evicting the poor, you have to evict the homeless. You have to wonder where the money goes. The first thing we need to do is audit where all of the money is going. There's plenty of money. The city's coffers are full. The money is just not being spent appropriately. According to Seattle's own numbers, 78% of the people who want to be off heroin, according to Seattle's own numbers, 78% of the people want to be off heroin. They don't want to have addiction problems. So that's what they're telling you. They want treatment. Unfortunately, there just aren't enough services. There aren't enough mental health options for them. We need to make sure those services are available for people on the street. Now, that's a catch-22 here, because if you want Seattle to be rich and beautiful, you can't have treatment centers and mental health facilities. Now, if you want Seattle to be normal and you want Seattle to be a regular city, then yes, you can have all that. Hoffman went on to paint a dire picture of the scene at the historic Becker Choldam Cemetery. They find needles, they find drugs, they find human feces all over the place, and they have to clean it up. Our grounds crew have been pricked by needles before. They've been assaulted by people they found living there. They found people on the ground, overdosing, thinking they were dead. That's a hell of a way to work. You go to clean up a cemetery, and not only is there people living there that are homeless and don't give a crap about where they're at. I'm going to be blunt here. I used to be homeless for 10 years. I get it. You know, you don't want to step on anybody's toes, but toes have to be stomped on. I'm just saying. Toes have to be stomped on here. Seattle is too important to be lost to homelessness. Federal data released in 2018 found Washington State's homeless population had risen more than any other state in the country. Why? Because y'all are allowing the homelessness. Just like cockroaches in an apartment, you got to find out what is attracting the cockroaches. You got to get rid of the attraction, and then you can get rid of the cockroaches. Now, I'm not saying that homeless people are worth nothing. I'm not saying that they're worthless people. I'm not saying that they're no good and they should be treated as animals. But when you've got problems that don't want to be fixed, like, not to get into scripture, but yes, I am a Christian, and if I offend anybody with this, I'm sorry, but scripture says, if the eye offend thee, pluck it out. What does it mean? If you have an eye and it's giving you problems and it's going to cause the rest of your body bodily harm, then you pluck that eye out to save the body. If the eye is causing you trouble, whatever it is, whatever you're looking at that's causing you trouble, you get rid of whatever you're looking at. Also, the word sin, S-I-N, has I in the middle of it. You take out the letter I in the word sin, you have no more word. You can't spell sin without I. If the I offend thee, pluck it out. Pluck it out so it's no longer there. The homelessness. If the homelessness is offending the city, which it is, it's you guys say, oh, we're part of the city too. No, you're not. You don't pay taxes. You're not productive in the city. You don't do nothing to help the city. All you do is just sponge off the city. And you want to say, oh, well, we deserve to be a part of the city. Start helping the city, and the city will start helping you. Anyway, I'm sorry if I got all down on you for this, but something's got to be done. The city of Seattle it's a crisis. The homelessness is a crisis now, and it needs to be taken care of. Anyway, I wanted to do another video too called Seattle Created Its Homeless Crisis. Now it's trying to make it worse. That's an op-ed opinion that I wanted to read to you, but I'll do it in the next video. Anyway, I'm gonna call it a night for this one. Sorry my videos are kind of dark. My lighting source is bad. I'll try to get that fixed over the next few videos. But anyway, this has been All Things Considered, because I consider all things. Have a good night.